Damn. Damn, boy. Damn, boy.
She.
Thick, boy. That's a thick ass
Girl.
damn.
Hello, people of YouTube. What up, and welcome to the first spotlight I'll be doing on Princess Connect. This first one being for Pecorine. So before we get started onto this spotlight, I'll just be making sure that you all know that I am basing this entire guide and its rankings based on my own experiences in JP. Also, keep in mind that these are the current max level stats that you can get with her, including maxed out exclusive equipment and 6-star. Like I said, these rankings are based on my own experiences with the JP version of the game and how they perform later on. That said, let's get right into the video. So first of all, Pecorine is a frontline unit. Specifically, she's a frontline tank. So starting off first, let's go with Pecorine's stats. Pecorine has the highest HP in the game at 61,109 HP. She also has an attack stat of 8,631, the second highest physical defense stat at 1,069, the sixth highest magical defense stat at 881. Now, as you might have noticed in this game, every character has a set position in which they stand. Some characters can't go in front of others, and this is basically just a layout of where Pecorine stands in terms of frontline positions. So, Pecorine's current position is 12th, in between Princess Pecorine and Rin. Keep this in mind since this determines whether or not your character gets attacked first when being targeted by attacks that hit the foremost person in your team. Alright, so what is Pecorine good at? Well, as some of you might actually know, her job is to be a thick damage tank. With her HP being as high as it is, and also her having an extremely high physical defense, she is extremely good at taking a lot of damage. This basically makes her one of the best tanks in the game. And with her stats covered, let's go over her skills and UB. So first up, let's go over her UB. Her UB is called Princess Strike. It's an attack that hits the foremost enemy. This UB has terrible damage, so don't rely on it for damage. That said, it also comes with the second effect of giving Pecorine a pretty decent physical and magic defense buff that lasts for 18 seconds. Now, upon her getting her 6-star form, this gets upgraded to Princess Valiant. Does the same thing as the regular version. However, before damage, Pecorine now gains a physical attack buff that scales according to how high her HP is when she activates it. So, ideally, you activate this when she's at full HP. Now with this buff, her UB actually does a considerable amount of damage. Also, in addition to that, her defense and magic buff get much stronger, basically making her an immovable object. Moving on to her skills. Her first skill is called Lunchtime. This skill increases her magic defense by a bit, and also recovers a bit of HP. Now, later on, once her unique equipment comes out, her unique equipment will give her 10 physical defense, 9 magic defense, and 5 resilience. At max, this would be 100, 90, and 50. The skill will also be upgraded to Lunchtime Plus. This makes it to where she gets a much higher magic defense buff, and also significantly increases her HP recovery from the skill. And as if that wasn't already enough, she also gains a physical/magic absorption barrier that negates damage for 8 seconds or until the barrier is destroyed. Moving on to her second skill. Her second skill is called Falling Slash. It's a pretty basic skill that just deals damage to the nearest enemy. The damage is okay, but later on, once she gets her 6-star form, post UB usage, this actually does quite a bit of damage, letting Pecorine contribute to your overall DPS. Now, as I memed about in my FAQ video, we're moving on to her third skill. Pecorine's third skill is her passive called Princess Power. This skill increases her max HP at the start of battle by a good bit, making her pretty fucking chunky. But here's the best part. At 5-star, this skill gets an upgrade to Princess Power Plus. It increases Pecorine's HP by a huge amount, making her thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. Alright, so moving on from her skills. This is something that I didn't get a chance to cover in my beginner's guide or even in the FAQ that I made earlier. Every unit in this game has a unique attack pattern that they follow initially and one that they loop. So, knowing this will help you better set up your team so you know how to synergize different skills. Here's Pecorine's initial pattern. Since she's one of the early units, her initial pattern is pretty straightforward. It is, she opens up by using skill 2, followed by skill 1, and then, here comes the looping part. After the initial pattern, it goes into attack, attack, skill 2, attack, and then skill 1. And then this repeats for the rest of the wave or the battle. Please note, this pattern always resets at the start of a new wave if you're going through story. So, after wave 1, as you go into wave 2, it'll start off with skill 2 and then skill 1 and then do the looping pattern again. Alright, now that we're all done with the pattern business, let's get into bond stat bonuses. As I mentioned in my guide, bonding up your characters gives you extra stats. And here are the extra stats that you get for bonding them up. At bond 2, she gains 150 HP. Bond 3, also 150 HP. Bond 4, 300 HP. Bond 5, 400 HP. Bond 6, 400 HP and 4 physical defense. At 7, 400 HP and 4 physical defense again. Bond 8, 600 HP and 6 physical defense and 4 magic defense. Now currently in the game we don't have access to Bond 9, 10, 11, or 12, but later on once we do have it, she then gains 800 HP at Bond 9, 800 HP at Bond 10 plus 8 physical defense, 800 HP and 8 physical defense at Bond 11, and finally she gains 1200 HP, 12 physical defense, and 8 magic defense at Bond 12. Now moving on to where to farm her pieces. Currently in the game, we only have up to World 8. But later on, we'll have access to way more farming stages. Here are all the farming stages that you can get Pecorine's fragments from. 3-1, 7-1, 17-1, 25-1, 32-1, and 41. Now I've not covered this yet, but I will be making a video on 6-starring. But just know that once her 6-star form comes out, the place where you farm her pure memory fragments is at very hard 18-1. So let's talk team comps. So team comps for Pecorine are fairly easy since she's a tank that is usable in pretty much every aspect of the game. Pair her with sub-tanks and supporters that can keep her going, such as Shizuru for heals and the damage barrier, Nozomi to give Pecorine a bit of a break while she uses her taunt, and Maho so she can blind the second nearest enemy and also give her a sizable heal. Pairing her up with these makes Pecorine last that much longer. Basically, like I said, making her the immortal god tank. Here are my final thoughts. Overall, Pecorine is an excellent tank who could be used anywhere. She can be slotted into basically just about any team comp. With the release of her unique equipment and her eventual 6-star, she goes from being a pretty chunky tank to a literally unkillable boulder who could face tank an insane amount of damage and sit there laughing as you do literally nothing to her. It's amazing. And with all that being said, let's get into her ranking. So I'm going to be separating these rankings based on where you have your Pecorine, whether before her unique equipment, with her unique equipment, and after she gets her 6-star form. And this is going to be further separated by story and dungeon, arena, and Luna Tower / clan battle. So here are the rankings. Pecorine before her unique equipment gets a B in story, a B in PvP, and a B in Luna Tower / clan battle. Once she gets her unique equipment, she gets an A+ for story and dungeon, an A in PvP, and an A in Luna Tower / clan battle. And finally, at 6-star, she gets an S in story, a double S in PvP, and an S in Luna Tower / clan battle. And those are my thoughts. Remember, these rankings are all based on my own experience with JP, and what I personally feel she brings to the table. So, what are your thoughts on Pecorine? Do you like her? Do you think she's bad? Let me know down below, and I'll see you in the next Spotlight. See you all later. Bye-bye.